They say what it means to be a man is to be a provider. They say what it means to be a man is to be a protector. They say what it means to be a man is to be the overseer, be the priest, be the one that gives provision. No, that's not the answer. I just want to let you guys know that that is not the answer. And I see so many of you guys saying that that's the answer. And, you know, but to clear the air on that right now, shout out to all of you guys that are creating content, that are sparking the conversation that needs to be had, that are sparking the rhetoric and dialect and are stepping forward and just trying to lead in something. Like, just that within and of itself, I commend that. I give the utmost respect to that. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you're doing that in your real life, I respect that. I take my hat off. If you providing a solution, even if I disagree with your solution, you get nothing but my utmost respect. But I want you to understand this. Now, it's a lot, and I'm not even talking about the people that's creating content that's talking, you know, to hundreds of thousands of people as an audience. Now, I'm talking about the hundreds of thousands, or rather thousands of YouTube channels that are just scattered throughout, that just keep popping up in my timeline, that my team keeps representing to me, that I find, you know, myself occasionally. And it's just individuals that got maybe 100 subscribers, they getting a couple hundred views per video, and, you know, they speaking that truth. You know, truth as in they are bringing up conversations that need to be had. They're speaking on the things that they're seeing in their real life. You know, they're saying that men are weak. You know, shout out to them, you know, for even getting behind the camera and, you know, bringing up, you know, the fact that leadership must be represented. But I came across a lot of these different pieces of content. I came across this popular narrative and rhetoric, and the popular saying that's being pushed is that the man is a provider. Now, that's nothing new. You know, growing up, that's what I was told as well. And, you know, that's what a lot of other men in this era of time were told as well. But I want you to understand this. Yes, the men that we are seeing in today's world are not that at all. They don't even deserve the title of men. You know, especially in this Western society, it is what it is. It won't always be that way. It wasn't always that way, so it won't always be that way. But let's not write off all men, first of all, you know, because I know some solid men, you know, they really hold it down. And, you know, if you ask them what is a man, the true representation, the true chiefs that's out there, you know, and even the young men like myself that are coming on and being leaders to you guys and giving you guys direction and giving you guys that true intellectual spirit will tell you guys that's not the answer. You know, that is a part of what this manhood thing is about. That's a part of what being a chief is about. But in all reality, being the leader, being the man is being the truth. That's what a wise man once said, and I once heard from a wise man, a man is the truth. In fact, if you go back to some old R&B songs, it's a song by India Ari, I believe is her name. And it's the true depiction of femininity in the confines of a song. You guys should check it out. But she says in there, he is the truth. You know, a real man is the truth, the embodiment, the representation of a truth. I'm not the first person to say that. That's not my idea. That's what the older men have conveyed unto me. And that's what a lot of the older men that are on platforms like this right here will convey to you once again. You are the truth. You are the representation of I am that I am. That's what a man is. Don't compromise. Don't make exceptions. Don't give up your manhood for anything. Valuing that manhood. Valuing your manhood, being the truth, and I am that I am, that has nothing to do with provision. That has nothing to do with providing. Why? Because I've seen men that don't have not a dime to their name, and yet they know that they're a man, though. You see, you guys are operating under the confines that the world has given to us to effeminate you anyway. You know, so and a lot of you guys really don't understand that. That's why it's so important for you guys to keep creating that content. It's important for us to keep making and saying mistakes. Mistakes are what make us great. Mistakes are what make us get better. Mistakes of the wrong intellect and the wrong perspective, that's what allows us to truly get that intellectual perspective. That's what these conversations are needed. These ideas need to be put out. That's why the content creation, as far as the mastermind effect is concerned, is so important. Because it's that content, you know what I mean? It's the different perspectives of different minds coming together that allow us to identify what is real from what is fake. But I need you to understand this. A man is the truth, to answer that question. You know, and to really dive deeper into that, You know, in recent times, I've learned that, man, life will hand you situations. And I think it's a continuous thing. But life has handed me situations where, you know, all you really had was your manhood. You know, and there's so many guys that I've seen with my own eyes get caught up in being a man is providing. And so they'll damn near do everything. They will sell their soul as long as they're providing and having provision over that woman or that family or for whomever. They can consider themselves as a man, but that's not reality. That's not reality. A man is one that stands up at the end of the day, no matter the circumstance or situation, and has that I am that I am attitude. It is what it is. I am that I am. Who I'm not, I'll never be. I'm the truth. The truth is not always liked. The truth is not always respected. The truth is not always, you know, welcome to a degree. I'll argue the point. The truth can be, and I feel like for the most part is going to be respected, because when you have that I am attitude, it just commands nothing but respect. But the truth within and of itself is non-compromising. You see, I see so many men that not only do they compromise with the woman, they compromise with society, but internally they compromise with themselves. So as a man, if I don't compromise with me, then what the fuck I look like compromising with other individuals? What I look like compromising with that woman? What I look like compromising with society? Because in the world that we're living in today, you will be asked and you will damn near be demanded to be accepted by this woman, be accepted by this current society. You will be demanded and expected to give up your manhood to do. They want your balls. They want your balls to do that. So to answer the question of what is a man, by saying it is simply in regards to provision, or it's in regards to, you know, chasing your goals even, or it's in regards to all of this other stuff that does make up a man's behavior, doesn't make up what a man truly is at the end of the day. What is masculinity at the end of the day? Masculinity at the end of the day is no retreat, no surrender. It is what it is because I am that I am. And that's what it's going to be, because that's what I said. We come through, we lay the law, we lay structure down, and we are governed by that structure. So why would we let someone else not conform to the structure? That's what a man is at the end of the day. And the reason why a lot of us don't respect older men is because we watch them compromise time and time again. A lot of the reason why I don't respect a lot of the people that I come across is because I watch them compromise time and time again. I watch them do that. They got the spirit of deal making in them. They got the spirit of compromising in them. They got the spirit of just weakness in them. But see, a lot of them are under this delusion that just because they got a lot of money in their bank account, or just because they provide for that woman, that makes them a man. Though be not deceived. It's a multitude of men. It's a multitude of males biologically walking around. It's just a big ass woman at the end of the day. That's all it is. See, a lot of y'all get confused about this masculinity thing as well. See, it's other men that are on the other extreme, right? See, when I really thought about it, you know, because I sat back the other day, you know, a lot of you guys that watch me are of the copper skin tone, you know, the copper colored nation, you know, the melanin nation. And a lot of you guys are of different ethnicities. All that stuff doesn't matter. You guys get what I'm saying about melanin nation. But, you know, a lot of us grew up in environments where, you know, you looked up to the shooter. You know what I mean? You looked up to the man that flashes out in violence. We thought that was cool. We thought that was admirable. But growing up, and we thought that was hard even. You know, and then growing up, though, you know, in my mature intellect now, when I look back at those same individuals, I was like, what's really hard about them? What's really hard? They don't really live that hard. They don't. Well, in a course of 24 hours, what are they doing that's so hard? They riding around all day, smoking dope, you know what I mean, drinking, didn't work out, you know, didn't do anything intellectual, don't got no kind of systems in the business, not really concerned about getting no money. All they do is got a gun on them, and if somebody says something wrong to them, they'll flash out just like the woman. That ain't hard. That's the opposite of hard. So when I really thought about it, I was like, what are they? They're not hard. They don't really live that hard. What's hard is getting up on time. What's hard as a man is working out. What's hard as a man is working on that business every day, working on your funds endeavor, your accumulation endeavor every day. What's hard is working on your intellectual endeavor every single day. What's hard is really being a chief and being able to lead past your pain that you're personally going through so that you can provide and have that provision over your team, over your family, over that woman, over whomever. If you're responsible for other individuals, you've now assimilated into the title of a chief. As a man, so no matter what age you are, if that's a situation that you're in, then you must rise to the occasion and be that. But at the end of the day, what makes you a man, what makes you that chief is not the individuals that you are presiding over. What makes you a chief is the mentality that you preside over them with. What is that mentality that you preside over them with? That mentality of humility, that mentality of giving thanks to the Creator, that mentality of understanding our ancestors and understanding what role they play in the life and reality that you're existing in today, understanding that it's not just about you, understanding that you must lead past your pain, understanding that you cannot compromise, not even with yourself, about the rules and regulations that have been gifted to you by the Creator to govern that population of people with, even if it is just one individual. You must be the living representation of that from a day to day. And so when we think about a lot of these so-called pictures and paintings of, what a man is, some people say, it's a lot of people, like I said, we started the video with, it's a lot of people that say that it is just provision. That's not the answer. And then you got the people on the other end that say that it's, it's about flashing out, essentially, just acting hard and stupid and stuff. And I want to just let you guys know that how can you be an asset to the woman, asset to the individuals that you're supposed to be leading if you act just like them? See, a lot of you guys need to really get around some men. And I know that's hard. But at the same time, for some of you guys, that's hard. But when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. A lot of you guys are being governed by that same mindset that your mother gave you, that was not proper within and of itself. I'm not talking about understanding the feminine nurturing role of a woman. I'm talking about that emasculine role of that woman that was passed down to you guys. That was not, now a woman got to do what she got to do to survive. I'm not knocking that. But what I'm saying is that a lot of you guys don't have, in your mature intellect, in the age you are now, you're not assessing these situations and saying that that's the way that the woman behaves in those situations. That's not the way that a man behaves in those situations. A man must be non-emotional in his approach to most situations. You must approach them from a point of non-bias, not that you got to get violent every single time. You got to flash out. Somebody say something to you don't like, you just flash all the way out. It ain't nothing masculine about that, because at that point, all the enemy has to do is say something to you sideways and you going to just throw your whole self. You do it to yourself. That's not masculine. But then again, it's also not masculine to allow an individual to just do whatever to you and yours. That's not masculine either. I think that it's a lost art of masculinity. It's a lost art of manhood that can only be regained through the acknowledgement of truly intellectual information, sitting down and talking with the elders of your family. And look, the elders of your family don't even have to be a representation of masculine men. But I can guarantee you right now, no matter how old you are, if you're at least 20 years old, or at least 19 years old, you can go talk to the oldest person in your family right now. And I guarantee you, they will be able to tell you about a man that has the traits of what I'm saying right now. In fact, I've never met the man in my family that has those traits. He transitioned long before I even came along, but I have a picture of him. Hey, I have a picture of him in my house, not too far away from me right now. And it's still stories of what he did, what he stood for, the spirit of not compromising, the way he presided over his family, the way he presided over the community, a community figure. The way that he did what he did is a representation of me today. He doesn't have to be in the flesh teaching me. He already taught me. It's flowing through my veins right now. And see, a lot of y'all got that bad too. Or just the woe is me mentality. Oh, the woe is me. You know, it ain't nobody to teach me. It ain't nobody to talk to me about this. It ain't this, it ain't that. Look, that all of that don't matter, because they don't need to be here to teach it to you right now. They already taught it to you through your DNA that's running through your veins. They already taught it through you by having stories that last forever. They've already taught it to you. And look, guess what? I got a lot of my information, a lot of my relationships, a lot of what I needed off of this internet. See, people talk so bad about the internet, and if you make that all of your life, then yes, that is a bad thing. I do have people, community and all that, you know, as you guys know, real life is the thing, you know, especially in what I teach to you guys. But the internet gives good information as well, you know, so that's why I encourage you guys to continue to post like what I just said. I'm telling you guys, continue to, you know, I give love to all of you guys, because I actually do like your content. I enjoy your content. I enjoy what we're collectively doing. That's why I tell us all to band together. Despite the confines of these imaginary lines or this imaginary race between us and all that stuff, we got to come together, because what we're doing is bigger than you and I and these imaginary lines and confines to begin with. But, you know, that's a whole nother video already on the channel. But I want you to understand this, though. That's why I encourage you guys to make content. That's why I will never discourage content. And I'll never stop making content, because I've gotten so much value from content when it's done in the right manner and fashion. You know, but I want you to understand this. Everyone don't take content as the word of law. You know what I mean? It's just an individual's perspective. So that's why the value in us sharing our perspectives matters. We're having conversations that wouldn't have otherwise been had. And had I not seen that piece of content that led me to saying this right here, I just would have kept living my life and went on and talking about some other intellectual topics that I had lined up for today. But that one is the one that spoke to me the most, because that's the narrative that's being preached the most. And it's just false. It's false because, look, if you put all of your value as a man, you put all your value on your ability to provide the provision that you give. Think about that. Now, keep in mind, if you guys haven't seen my last video, go watch that. I told you guys, the money is meaningless at the end of the day. It means nothing. So you're doing all of that, you know, to get this money, to give it to someone else. So by saying that the man's only priority is provision, or what makes you a man is your ability to provide or provision, and not saying it's simply just a necessary component, if you're saying that is the sole makeup and that is what makes you a man, then what you're saying is what's making you a man is what you can give. And that's not the truth. It's not what you can give as a man. It's what you stand for as a man. That's what makes you a man. It's what you stand for. I don't even care if I disagree with what you stand for. If you're standing for it and you're willing to die for it, I respect that. I respect that. And that's the representation that you must make sure that you represent in this life. That's the representation that you must preside over your people with. That's what real leadership is. When you're not willing to sacrifice your manhood. I stand for this manhood. I grow this manhood. I nurture this manhood every single day. I add to this manhood. I make myself stronger every single day so that I could be of service to those around me by being the representation of what a man is, by being the one that's going to stand to die for something, by being the one that gives purpose, by being the one that gives structure, by being the one that gives intellectual conversation and value and perspective, by being the one that leads past pain at all times in any given situation, by being the rock that these emotional waves will crash into. That's what being a man is. Could care less about how much money you have in the bank account. Not saying that money's not a valuable tool, it is, but we overvalue that shit just like we overvalue everything else they told us to value. It doesn't mean as much as they said it does. It's a tool that we need for sure, but it doesn't mean as much as what they said it does. And it's a result of the value that you provide. I truly believe that when you become the man that I'm saying right now, that money comes with it. It's a one package thing. You know, it's individuals that got the money and not that. They'll die not being that. They have to go to the grave knowing that they was a coward. Going to the grave knowing that they didn't stand for anything. Go to the grave knowing that they was just afraid on the inside. And that's another thing. I see a lot of you guys that got some good ideas when you get behind this camera, but you carry yourself timid. You present the topic as if you're afraid. You're tiptoeing around as if you're walking on eggshells. I want you to understand this. When you get behind this camera, the only thing that I ask of you is that you make this shit look good. Make it look good. Give your soul to it. Give your soul to it. I give my soul to this. I give my soul to you guys every single time I get behind a video. I give you guys the real. It is what it is. I don't even do no editing. I'm just going to upload it. And I'm going to keep it that way for the most part. Because I believe that the most genuine way to create content, and I want to keep it 1,000 with you guys no matter what stage I'm at, even when we grow from right here. You know, I'm going to give my soul to it. I give a piece of my soul to you guys every time I press that record button. And I want you guys to do the same. When you press that record button, give a piece of you to it. And when you think about it like that, you can't go at it timid. You can't go at it with weakness. You can't go at it with uncertainty and doubt. Even if you're conveying uncertainty and doubt, you convey it in such a way that it's just your soul coming out, and you are the embodiment of realism. When you get behind this camera, that is just conveyed and it just touches the people in a certain way. It's as if you were sitting right across from me and looking me dead in my eyes when I'm talking to you. That's what I want you guys to understand. That's what this content creation is about. That's what this take control of the narrative initiative is about. That because we're having conversations that need to be had, man. So shout out to you guys that are, you know, doing those type of things, you know, creating content. You know, shout out to the person, I forgot their name, but, you know, I might even drop a link to their stuff in my stuff. But shout out to the one that gave me the inspiration just from seeing their content and others, you know, that had the same thing. And just some people in real life even that said that to me, that their goal was to provide, you know, and their role, what made them a man was provision. Yeah, shout out to them, you know, and keep doing what you're doing because it needs to be had, you know. And like I said, though, I'll say it again. Do not, you know, make it look good as far as I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about the Black Warriors, the Great Escape, all the stuff that we have going on collectively. I'm talking about you. Make you look good. When you do this video, make you be the representation of the man that you want to be. The embodiment of that within this content. And give your soul to it. Give your all to it. If you give your all to it, then that timidness wouldn't be there. That hesitation wouldn't be there. Because you got to give your soul to it. But look, though, I want to say this as well, right? You got to be doing things on a daily basis that break you down. You know, that break that barrier down, that break that doubt down, that break all these things that are illusionary in nature down. You gotta, because doubt, all of that type of stuff, uncertainty, timid, all of that stuff comes from the external. When you surrender internally and you know who you are, I am that I am. And even if you're growing into it, look, we're young. A lot of us are young with that given. So we're still growing into it. But when you accept, I'm growing into it, but I am that I am right now, though, you carry yourself in a different manner. So I suggest you guys to, first of all, you guys got to be working out. But I would suggest you guys to do things like boxing, martial arts. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all. I don't look forward to going to boxing at all. Because it's a humbling experience. Man, I guarantee you guys, go to a jiu-jitsu gym. I'm going to get specific with you. Go to a real jiu-jitsu gym. Go to a real boxing gym. Go to a real kickboxing gym if you're on other parts of the world. Go to a real Muay Thai gym. Go to any real martial arts gym, and you'll know that it's real if it looks like you in the middle of the hood, or you actually are in the middle of the hood. That's how you know it's real. It's a real gym if the environment look like it's the hood, and you walk in there and, you know, stuff is broken, You know, it's got a rough feel to it. It's either gonna be super hot if it's summertime, or it's cold as hell if it's wintertime. That's the real boxing gym. That's the real gym for sure. And I'm gonna say that not because they can't afford, they get money for sure. It's not because they can't. It's that way because the experience is supposed to be that way. That's the real of it, and it's a humbling experience because nobody on their first month, their first couple months is gonna be good at that. You're just not. It's a humbling experience, and it requires you to submit to your inner being. It requires you to accept that you're not in control of everything, but you're only in control of your internal state. And that's an ongoing, everyday process. That's what it makes you accept that that's not a destination that you get to, but rather it's a journey that's continuous in nature throughout the whole course of your entire existence in this human realm of endeavor. That's what those type of things do. And when you take on those endeavors, you learn that you're not how much money you make. You learn that it's not about that. You learn that it's not about any of those things. That yes, we do get money, because I like buying all the clothes I like to buy. I like expensive cigars. I like, you know, the cars I like. I like the houses that I like, all of that stuff, and I gotta have it. And I'm gonna gift that stuff and make sure that I can give my family and my people, even you guys, the best that the world has to offer. I'm gonna make sure of that. But that's not who I am, though. I'm not those things. And my ability to give you those things does not dictate my value to you. What dictates my value to you is, did I stand for what I believe in today? And how long have I been doing so? And can I gift you with some intellectual information today? And the best way that I'm saying to do that, go do a martial art. Go take on some of these other endeavors. Talk to men like me. My Instagram and stuff, my link and stuff is in the description. You know what I'm saying? We got to have more conversation with each other, you know, but I ain't even going to be on here too long. You know, I'm not going to hold you guys too long. I just had to come through and let you guys know that, you know, a man is, like I said, the truth. A man doesn't lie. A man has no need to lie. Look, I'm not a facade. I'm not nothing. Like, with the way you can see me on camera, the way that you see me on this platform, is that you bump into me in real life, it's going to be the same way. I'm the same person, whether it's on or off. It's the same. And I live in my truth. I am that I am. You know, I represent what I represent. The experiences that I have had in the past, you know, created, you know, and what the intellectual information, it creates the man that I'm becoming. It creates the man that you see today. And I need you guys to understand that I am that I am. I believe in what I believe in. I'm willing to die for it, as you guys already know. And, you know, we just going to keep rocking like that. And that's what makes me a man. You know, and a lot of you guys go into relationships, you go into certain social dynamics even, you go into these things seeking validation from that person of your manhood. You know, and if that person were to tell you that you're not being a man, you would accept that as truth. When in reality, the only person that can tell you you're not a man is you. The only person that validates you as a man is you. And there are clear violations that you can make where, you know, you don't have no manhood. But aside from those violations that are unspoken rules that we all can assume, you know, I want you to understand that a lot of you guys are going into situations not understanding that when you're actually a man, when you actually stand on this masculine principle, when you stand on the chief that you are, when you stand on the chosenness that you have been gifted with from birth, when you stand on that, it's going to be people that leave. You know, in fact, I would say that it's not a possibility for you to say you're chosen and you've never had a woman leave you. You've never had people just do some fuck shit to you and leave out on you. You know what I mean? You've not had situations where it's just been you. Because when you don't do no deal making, when you don't do no compromising, when you don't do none of that, it's just going to be you sometimes. And that's what a lot of you guys can't fathom. And that's why a lot of you guys don't accept this as truth. But those of you guys are standing on the real principle and the real men out here, you know that that's the reality of the situation. And I can confidently say that eye to you right now because I lived that. I lived it. You know what I mean? I went through, people, not fucking with me because I wasn't about to compromise this principle. I wasn't about to compromise with what this structure is. It is what it is. I am that I am. I'm not going to compromise for you or nobody else when it comes to what I'm standing for, what I'm getting after, what I'm doing, and the way that shit about to go is I'm just not. I done lost, relatives over that, relationship with relatives over that. I done lost women over that. I done all the above, and it is what it is. It's been times where it's just me. It's been times where it's a lot of pretenders in there. It's been times where, I might have had some solid ones in there, and that's an ever revolving door. It is what it is. And a lot of you guys can't get comfortable with just you. Not saying that that's easy. It's not easy at all. But at the end of the day, I don't have no other option because I'm not doing no compromising. I'm not doing no compromising. I'm not doing no integration. I'm not doing no deal making. I'm not doing none of that. It is what it is because I am that I am. And that's what a man is.